Hello again, this is Andy McCann with CrossFit Garage, and I don't think, I ever really say my name on these podcasts, so yes, I'm Andy, and as Levi pointed out, I am the owner of CrossFit Garage. So if you've been listening to these episodes, a lot of them are trying to tell you that, yeah, you could probably do this, anybody can do this, you just have to really show up. We've had people that have come from various walks of life. I've got a few more interviews that'll land soon, and I thought to myself, I don't know if I've actually told anybody how they could become a member or what do they do. So if you've been listening or you've been watching or you're watching our YouTube feed or anything like that or social media, then what you do, the easiest way is just go to our website. You can poke around. But if you click on any of the schedule your free no sweat intro, you fill in your name and information, and we will get connected. We have an automated system. It's semi-automated. It'll launch a text to you if you put your phone number in there and say, "Hey, we got you." And then one of us will reach out pretty soon after that. So what does it look like to actually become a member? What would you expect, and how does this all work? So if you join, typically it's from people, well, I guess it's either from our website, we get a lead, or you or someone we know. So we obviously love either type. It's fun to work with people that are friends of our members because it's just a neat way to be introduced to someone new, and we have somebody in common, and I don't know, it's just kind of fun to see them grow alongside their friend. So anyway, let's say you came to our website, you clicked either that tab right there, or I'm sorry, I'm looking at our website. So this would be a podcast as well as on our YouTube channel. So I'm at CrossFitGarage.com, and there's a button that says schedule your free no sweat intro. So no sweat, that's a pun, right? So it's literally no sweat. Come in, it's pretty easy. And you're not going to sweat. We're just going to talk. Or you can scroll down in any form. We'll do the same sort of thing. Or if you click on our rates, that queues up the same thing, but it also kicks out an email with our rates on it. So we do have a couple options, but pretty much it's a personal training or CrossFit class gym. We do have, as you guys have heard the other podcasts, that we've got summer strength for kids, CrossFit kids, and this summer, the Swole 30 or Swole 60, because there's 60 days of summer. Anyway, so you click on this, you get a text from us saying, "Hey, we got you in our system." You're going to get a call or a video text or something similar from one of us. And right now it's typically Coach Jamie connecting with everybody, and she will talk to you, answer questions. And if you're interested in actually coming in and doing a no sweat intro and having a chat and seeing what we do, she will set that up with you. So you'll come into the gym. Actually, let me show you where we are. So if you're in Woodstock, then this makes sense. If you don't live in Woodstock, then you're never, well, I guess if you're just like visiting, that's fine. So I'm on a Google map, and got Atlanta kind of in the zone. So up here in Woodstock, Georgia, that's on 75 or near 575 and 92. And as you drill in, you'll see our pin mark right there. So right across the street from Black Riffle Coffee, another big landmark is First Baptist Woodstock. So we're on that same road, Highway 92. It's a pretty big road. And between basically Main Street and Trickham. So if you're in that area, then we would probably be a good fit. One thing that you would see about us, if you're looking through, like, we have an about page, and we really tried to nail down on this one. Actually, it's not the about. Well, I guess this is a good part. I'll go to the about page. So we have it posted up on our wall. We did a while back. We worked on our vision and who we are and who we wanted to serve and what kind of people we want to attract and just who's in the gym. And after a few sessions, we came up with this as our motto. We are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now as well as to our 90s. So if that sounds like you, then you would probably be a good fit with us. If you go to the Get Started page, I changed it. So now there's 3 questions, and it basically goes along with those 3, or that motto, that idea. So there's question 1. If you answer yes to all of these, then you're a good fit. Let's get together. But basically it's, our ideal member is happy, humble, and helpful, and desires to be healthy and fit now as well as in their 90s. Does this sound like you? Yes. Well, great. Question number 2. We double down on coaching, mentoring, and accountability. Does this make you smile? Yes. So people we don't work with, and we recommend other gyms, is if somebody says, "I really just want an open gym so I can come do my own thing." We used to do some of that, and it doesn't really build for good community. And if you're like, "Hey, I just want to do my own programming during class," well, we did that before, and it creates a lot of cliques and a lot of I don't know, just clashing. So we just don't do that. We want everyone to be working together. I think in the military, they say adversity builds bonds, when they go through BUDS or basic training or whatever. So the adversity of the workout builds interesting community. And it's not really, I guess, adverse like the military, but you know what I mean? If you're doing something stressful or something that you really have to put some energy into, then when you do it alongside people, then you tend to grow with them. So then the third question is, do you want to be the hero of your own story? So our job is to help equip you with the knowledge to do everything we do. And everything is online. So I've said it for a long time. If you want to shortcut any process, then hire a mentor or a coach, right? So the coaches and the mentors, what we're doing in here is trying to teach you the things that you would need to do. So if you moved away or decided, hey, I can do this on my own, or this isn't for me, or whatever, you've got a great foundation to work on your own. So you will become the hero of your own story. The accountability, obviously, we want people coming in. We are a small gym. So we've got a couple mega gyms down the street, Lifetime, LA Fitness, all sorts of Gold's Gym, big gyms, whatever. And, they want something like 10,000 members and only 1% actually showing up. We want about 100 to 150 members, and we want 99% of you showing up, right? So I know the 1% is, stuff happens, whatever. You got to go on vacation and things. But we want everyone showing up. We want a small, tight-knit community of people that are growing on this journey of health and fitness. Okay, so on that same page, you see we do have our we have a podcast. You're listening to it right now, or YouTube channel you're watching right now, and I'll cover a little bit of that. What else can I show you here? So we do post our schedule. We have a couple morning classes, a couple afternoon classes. We do post our workout of the day. And actually, let me show you what that would look like. So typically, so here's CrossFit.com, and they're going to post for people working out of their house or in your garage, just not to be confused with CrossFit Garage, but in your garage, they typically do a 3 days on and 1 day off. We used to do that. It's just really hard to actually make that work. So we do 5 days a week of programming, and we have weekends, but the weekends are not usually associated directly with what we did during the week. So it would look something like this. Actually, let me show you our page. So right here. So this is something we did a while back. So when you come in, well, actually, let me back up a little bit. Before you even get to class, when you talk to Jamie and you're like, hey, I'm interested in doing this, what do I do next? For almost everyone, we're going to do a 5 class onRamp session. So it's 5 30-minute sessions to help get you to the a more realistic starting point. So I understand what's going on. We can teach you some stuff about the gym. We can watch your form. It's all one-on-one. It's about you. And it's helping you gain some of the abilities that we're going to be using. Obviously, there's a lot to learn, so we don't expect you to learn everything. But it's a very safe, easy, smart, and a very process-oriented way to get people introduced and into what we're doing. So we'll do those. If you come from another CrossFit gym, then obviously we'll just give you the high five and get you into class. Some people stay with personal training the entire time, and that's totally fine. They never want to go to class. That's okay. We are into that. We want to meet you where you're at. But I'd say 99% of the people go right into class after those 5 sessions. And when you get to class, what it's going to look like is there is everyone signs in, and the coach says, hey, 8:30 a.m. class, come here. And so everyone will do some sort of warm-up like you can see right here. So I'm on our website looking at our Wodify app. Wodify is just a software that helps us track and do some customer tools type things. So anyway, there's a warm-up. Typically, there's some sort of skill or strength sort of thing to get you going for the workout that's about to come. Typically, not all the time. Sometimes it might be after the workout, sometimes not at all. It depends on the workout. And then there's some sort of METCON, metabolic conditioning, and that is the bread and butter of CrossFit. So CrossFit is functional movements well, I was going to try to pull it up on their website, but I can't find it, of course. So anyway, it's functional movements executed at high intensity. So what does that mean? It's things that you would probably find yourself doing throughout your day anyway. And then we want to give you proficiency in technique and form so that you can start moving through those movements quickly, right? We're going to edit the modal domain or the movements that you're doing, as well as the time domain or the time reference you're doing. So some days you literally could have a 2-minute workout. Like if you did a 500-meter row and you went all out, it's going to be under 2 minutes, and you're going to roll off that row and be like, I can't do anything else. We had, what did we do? It was 1 minute on the Rogue Echo bike for intervals. So you're supposed to do, I think it was like 5 minutes of biking, 1 minute at a time, and there was breaks between. And one of our guys went so hard in the first minute. I think he got something, I don't remember. It was really high on the calories, 40 or something. It was insane. And then he rolled off the bike and he's like, I'm done. And he didn't do anything the rest of the time there. Going quick with intensity can wear you out something fierce, or it's a big lift, right? On the other side, we do have 10K days. So, hey, go out and run a 10K, or go out and row a 10K. They don't come up very often because it's not a crowd pleaser, but they are there. So it's, both ends of the spectrum, but usually it's going to revolve around a 12 to, or 9 to 15 minute workout. So 12 is the kind of the hot spot. And typically they're going to be couplets and triplets. So if you look at the workout that I'm on right now, it's every minute on the minute for 9 minutes. And then there's 3 movements, right? So that's kind of what we're into, is couplets and triplets. Sometimes they're chippers and it can be other things, but you would come into class, you would warm up with everybody, you would do the workout, you would cool down. The coach is taking you through this. This is why there's coaching, mentoring, and accountability. The coach takes you through everything. So you literally just need to show up and we will walk you through everything. We're going to teach people different things based on where they are. So we may be looking at like your midnight stability and saying, hey, let's get your back fixed. While somebody else, we're saying, hey, let's lift our toes up so we're back on our heels. And you're like, well, why didn't you tell me that? Well, it's kind of the triage method. You pick the biggest thing that needs to be fixed and you go for that. Typically it revolves around safety. If you're rounding out your back tremendously on a deadlift, then you're eventually going to hurt yourself. So let's fix that first. Versus saying, hey, we didn't hook grip, whatever. The hook grip's not as important as making sure your back is in a neutral position. So we're going to take through all that. So the class is really where all the magic happens. And you can come in early and do some extra stuff, warm up, whatever. Or stay late and do some accessory work, or cool down, stretch, whatever, right? So I typically get there early and I typically do a lot of warming up, and then I have a rolling out stretch routine that I do at the end. It takes me about, maybe like 5-10 minutes. And we recommend that highly. I know some people are like, hey, I just got to get in and get out. And that's fine. We're not going to stop you. I'd rather you come and do something than nothing. So when you start, you may find yourself being really sore. That's okay. It's muscles and movements that you maybe haven't done in a while. Totally fine. So we tell people, come in and do the warm up, learn what if we're doing some sort of skill, learn that, and then just jump on the rower and row for 20 minutes or whatever the rest of the class is. That way you're moving. If you move, you will get some of that soreness off you. So when you join, before you join, you can watch us on our Facebook or Instagram page. We also have a members only page, and I am trying to produce some more material. Produce, that sounds like such a big word. I'm just using my phone and filming stuff and putting it on YouTube. So it is not a production. It's just me just putting stuff up there that I find interesting. And you can find us at, it's just my name, Andy McCann. Let me see if I can pull it up. So yeah, just look for Andy McCann, or it's at Andy McCann 42. And we've got things like, some of these aren't important to some of you guys, but these are the things that are interesting to me. So, of course, there is CrossFit. Let me see if I can find the CrossFit part. Well, I don't know. I'll get there. So, I've got some stuff on solar power, the Lightning Node for Bitcoin, our summer strength program for students, rental properties, doing some play, just having fun with this fitness, adventure racings, our farm dog, chickens, the incubator, playing chess, more Bitcoin, our ducks, we have chicken playlist, our farm playlist, some entrepreneur stuff, some basic health, homesteading. Here you go, CrossFit. Sometimes it's actually people doing movements. Sometimes it's just me talking to you about something. There's some soccer and course favorites. So there's that. And then I'm also, if you're listening to this, then I have a podcast. So you can go here and find our podcast. Oddly, it's just called CrossFit Garage. I'll probably change the name one day, but this is how we're starting. And we're listed on pretty much everything, so you can find us on any service. I think most everyone listens to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, but we're on everything. I've never even heard of most of these, but I did the work to get us all linked, which is pretty easy these days. Anyway, so we also do a lot of communication. So at your 30-day mark, we're going to be telling you about a goal review we're going to do. Every 90 days, we're going to ask you, hey, do you want to do a goal review? Have your goals changed? Do you need to do something different? Are you looking at something new? Or do you have a new future events you're looking forward to. I would say for the most part, people's goals change a lot in the first maybe 6 months, and then they sort of plan out, and because you understand, hey, this is who I want to be. This is the things that I'm looking for. So, for example, guys might come in and say, I want to lift a whole lot more. Well, yes, CrossFit, we do lift, but doing something like starting strength or the Windler method, like hypertrophy with rest, like specific rest days and lots of eating of meat, is going to build more muscles quickly than what we do. So if somebody comes in and says, I really want to work on my conditioning so I can run a marathon, well, if you go train for a marathon, that's probably the best way to train for a marathon. So ours is cross fitness, right? So, hey, yes, I'd like to run a marathon, but I'd also like to have muscles. Well, that's CrossFit right there, right? So it gives you a cross blend of both aspects on each side. So I've got my endurance and I've got bodybuilding, not necessarily bodybuilding, but strength. And you put those together. So we gain those, both skills, and typically they're mutually exclusive. Typically you don't find let's say a bodybuilder that can also run a marathon, or you don't find a marathon runner that is worth their salt in anything when it comes to lifting, even the bag of groceries. I don't know. Usually they can lift that, but you know what I mean? Their shapes and their looks are very different. If you think of an Olympic sprinter, that's what we're going for. Somebody that can move, but also can lift. Anyway, the first 6 months is a lot of learning. Come to class, pay attention. If you listen to the podcast with my buddy Cam Garrett, he has a great story. We've known each other forever, and he just started doing CrossFit, and he's like, hey, when am I ever going to be able to beat that 40-year-old mom who's kicking my butt? Maybe never. She's been doing that for 6 years, so it might take some time, right? But it's just like anything. The compounding interest on your attendance will show in your fitness and your ability. And sometimes it shows up as, hey, everyone, let's go up Stone Mountain. You're like, yeah, okay. And you go up Stone Mountain and you're the only one not huffing and puffing. And you're like, wow, that was interesting. Or you go skiing with your buddies and everyone's like, hey, it's time for a break. You're like, wow, I could probably do a bunch more runs. So your fitness is going to show up when you express it. If you're not doing anything, then it might be harder to see. I suppose if you go to the doctor, then they're going to probably have some interesting numbers for you. I actually don't go to the doctor. I don't think I've been to the general doctor in a very long time. I think it's been a while. I did have blood work done with a friend of ours, and she said your blood work is super boring, so which is great. That's what you want to hear. And anyway, so after about a year, you are pretty comfortable with what you're doing. If you've been logging your numbers, so let me see if I can find this in our Wodify. So I'm in Wodify and I'm changing it to my performance, and I'm going to pick something, I don't know, let's do a Metcon and let's put in Jackie. Jackie, spell it correctly. Okay, so you can see, well, if you're watching this, you can see it. If you can't, you can just listen to me. So the first Jackie workout I ever did was in 2014. And my time was 7:07. The most recent one I did was in 2022. And my time was 6:39. So that's pretty cool. I was faster than my first, so cool. The best I've ever done is 5:56. So it gives you all these stats. You can see everything you're doing. And typically I make notes to myself. So in 2021, I wrote on the rower, do a 205.6 pace to beat my next time, right? So I give myself notes on what I should or shouldn't do to help myself get better at doing this stuff, right? So what we want to do is increase your ability to produce effort or work, right? So it's not just work. So if I told somebody I did 100 pull-ups, you'd think, well, that's kind of good. But if I said I did 100 pull-ups over a week's amount of time, you're like, that's not very as impressive. If I said I did 100 pull-ups in an hour, you're like, well, that's pretty cool. So work is the pull-up. Time is the time reference, and work divided by time is power. So it becomes more interesting as I express more power. So if I said I did 100 pull-ups in 60 seconds, you'd be thinking to yourself, dang, that is awesome. Because it tells you something about the power output that I can generate, right? I was able to gymnastically and with the lack of muscle fatigue, do 100 pull-ups. No, I cannot do 100 pull-ups in 60 seconds. It's just an example. But Jackie does have, I think it's 30 pull-ups in a row. And usually I can do those unbroken, even still. So we want to help you generate more power in what you do, because that power, work divided by time, or the intensity, is the secret sauce of CrossFit. If you look at everything they do, the biggest independent variable that is shown to have the most adaptation towards health and fitness is intensity. So intensity is relative. You could be brand new and, 200 pounds overweight. If you come in and give it what you got, that is your intensity. So if I had an intensometer, it would register 8. Because you went with intensity. And maybe you only did 2 rounds of whatever it is we're doing. And then we go to somebody who's been doing this for 10 years and they do 10 rounds, but their intensity meter is still 8, right? So it's kind of like with alcohol, if you want to get a buzz, you have to drink more and more and more and more, right? So unless you spread it out. But you need to do more exercise to catch up to where you were to have that intensity effort level, right? But the cool thing about that is when you do more, well, that shows, and it's neat, and it shows in your body, it shows in your efforts. When you do more alcohol, that doesn't show up anywhere except maybe your gut. So being able to do more is better. If you said to hey, I am just going to run for 20 minutes, the exact same distance every day, it'd be good for a while, but eventually if you ran exactly, let's say it's 2 miles you're doing in 20 minutes, and you did that every time and you were super consistent over 5-10 years, the return on your investment is super low. Probably after the first 3 months, you're starting to lose that compound interest because you're not doing anything extra or more. You're just doing the same. You're maintaining, and it's not even really maintaining because your body is used to it. And so the cool things that would happen to your body aren't happening. So we want to continually push you, as long as you want to be pushed, to do more. All right, so what else can I show you on here? Oh, so this isn't on our Wattify system, but when you get to 100 workouts, we actually, right now, we give out shirts. So it's 100 WODs stronger. We do the same thing at 500 and the same thing at 1,000. We actually have a member 3 of us who are I'm one of them, who are about to hit 2,000, and we haven't come up exactly with what we're going to do there. We've got like a dozen ideas, and like 6 of them are awesome. The other 6, but just doing them a little bit and we'll see what happens. But anyway, so we'd like to reward people. When you log your information, let's see if I can find a good one. Okay, so what I did is on our Wattify system, we also log your workouts. So you can, some of you can see, I'm looking at Chance, and he did some front squats, and he has a star by his name, which means he got a personal record, and it says he PR'd by 2 reps versus 1 rep. So he had a 1 rep max, but this next time, he was able to do 2 of the weight that was his 1 rep max. So we log and track all that stuff so that we can see you grow. We want you to track. So instead of saying, well, I think I feel healthier and fitter, you can actually look at the numbers and say, wow, look at that. And so some things that are fascinating, I'm going to go back to my performance and pick, let's see, I guess I go back to Jackie. You can see the trend over time. So this one right here, I guess I wasn't feeling it, 9 minutes and 35 seconds. And that was one of my slowest, so personal worst. But you could see the trend over time was down, 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 down. So I was able to take it from 707 to 625 to 606 to 601 to 559 to 557, and then you're like squeaking out 556, right? So my best all-time ever back in 2020 was 556. And I'm sure, let's see, can I see notes on that? Yeah, so I put a note as everything was unbroken and the row was 150.1. So if I want to go a little bit faster, I need to get 149.9 maybe, right, on the rower for the split times. But anyway, we want to track all this so you can legitimately say, I am fitter because I can see the numbers. So everything that's tracked and measured gets results. So we want to track and measure these things. All right, so you've been with us for a year and you've got some shirts. You're getting texts from us. We do video texts with you. A lot of the coaches, most of the coaches will do something. Jamie and I do a lot of them. You'll see something from Laura if you do our nutrition. So if you're into that, we would love for you to be able to adjust your eating, but not everybody is interested in adjusting their eating. But it is important to eat correctly, and there's just a whole lot on that. I'm not going to go into it here, but we do have help for you should you want it. We do a lot of other fun things. So we've got a group right now that's, like me doing adventure races, and another group doing mud races. I'm trying to get together a pickleball group. I don't know exactly how or what that would look like, but I like pickleball. And so, we've got this fitness. Let's express it. So 2 years into it, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, I can really start seeing a lot of the differences. It shows up in my life all the time, being healthy and fit. I've gained new skills. Like I haven't walked on my hands, handstand walk in forever, and I'm doing it again. If that's what you choose. I've never been up a rope climb, and now I'm able to climb up that rope. Wow, look at that. So you're going to gain skills, and we call that neurological adaptation. We want your brain and your nervous system to connect, and so we want to teach you new stuff. So always go out and look for ways to express it. Could be something fun like, I don't know, water skiing, or picking up a sport like pickleball or tennis or golf or frisbee golf or something. But if you can get out and about and show off what you have, not show it off like not showing it off, but express what you have in normal life, you're going to be impressed and other people will be impressed. And you may not see what you're gaining because the people around us are gaining as well. But when you go out with the people who aren't doing anything, you're very much going to see a difference. So I've been doing this since about 2007. We started the gym in 2008. And so for me, this long into it, I don't know, what is that, 15 years or something, 16 years? I don't see very many personal records, but that's to be expected because I'm the oldest I've ever been. Right? I get older every day. And so I've been doing this the longest, or a very long time. I do see a couple here and there. So I'll get 1 rep more, 1 second less, or maybe add 1 more pound to a lift. And that's totally great because feebleness is chasing us down and we're trying to do what we can to keep it off our backs. You're going to build great camaraderie. I have found great friends inside of CrossFit. There's people who do business together. So, I mean, it's just fascinating. Our gym, for whatever reason, has a high number of entrepreneurs. So if you're looking to get into a healthy mindseted group of entrepreneurial people, then this is a great place to be as well. Our typical person is somewhere in the ages of 35 to 55. And I think we're equally split, male and female. And we are morning class heavy. So we've got, right now we have a 5, 6, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. So we have 5 classes in the morning. And then we have in the evening, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., and 6 p.m. So a whole bunch more people are coming in the morning. And I don't know if that's because more entrepreneurs were coming to us and they want their mornings, or is it we had more classes and we attracted, I don't know. So we do have interesting conversations, rental properties, buying land, Bitcoin. I mean, you name it, we talk about it. It's a really interesting group of people who are healthy mindset that want to basically live a good life now and when they're older. Okay, so that's us. Hopefully it sounds like it's something that you'd be interested in. We would love to talk to you. If you find yourself going, well, I am not happy, humble, or helpful, well, we're not the gym for you. There are a ton of CrossFit gyms around. Just call them up and say, hey, what are your typical people like? Do you have a motto? Do you have a statement? Like, what do you typically attract? If they say we take everybody, sure, go for it, whatever. But you probably want to find one that fits you a little bit better. So I don't know, if you're like, hey, the glass is half empty. Well, ask him, are you the half empty type of gym? Or is the glass half full? Just ask them. If you find, well, 1, be close to wherever you are. Close is great. And then 2, find a match for who you are and the personality types. So if you are, I don't know, if you're really into competitions, you want to go to the CrossFit Games, yeah, I'm not the gym for you. We're not going to be great for that. But I have 2 people that are near us that literally went to the games, like Brandon Phillips at CrossFit Bound over in Kennesaw. So I can help you find that gym you need. But if you live in Woodstock, give it a shot. If you don't live in Woodstock and you're listening to us, you're like, how do I find a gym that would work for me? How do I know what's a good one and a bad one? Email me, call me, text me, and tell me where you live, and we can do some Google searching together, and I can look at the websites. Typically, you could tell by a website what the gym is like. So, for example, if I'm looking at somebody's website, let me go to mine, and so I look at the About page, and if I see there are, I don't know, like 50 coaches, well, that means, well, 1, they'll have a lot of coaches available to cover class, but those coaches aren't really going to know who you are and, understand how to coach you because they're just not going to see you that often, right? So you want Well, look at their classes first. Like, look how many classes they have. If they only have like 2 classes, that may not be enough classes to like help you get there, unless it meets your needs specifically. So the number of classes, the number of coaches they have. You probably want something that has at least 3 classes in the morning and 3 classes in the evening. Then you want something that has maybe, so 1 coach would not be good, because if they go on vacation, then gym is shut down. 2 coaches is okay, but that means if one goes on vacation, the other has to cover everything. So that's not great. If they have 3 coaches, that's good. So I would say 3 to like 7, you're looking at a sweet spot. What else would I look for? So if they don't do any sort of, and it depends on you. Some people are like, I don't want to pay for that. Well, good. Fine. I mean, just go to if you don't want to pay for it, just go online and get the workouts for free and do it on your own. You're paying for coaching, mentoring, and accountability for almost all of these gyms. So most of them are going to have some sort of on-ramp or foundations that they want you to do. And it's so they can help prepare you and equip you. It's all about you, for you. We used to let people just jump into class and to see if it would work. And after 15 years, I can tell you 99% of the time, anybody who just jumped into class never came back. So we don't do that anymore. It doesn't really work. We also do a bring a friend. So if you want to bring a friend with you, we have certain weeks. So usually there's a week in usually like February, and then a week in maybe October that we do bring a friend week. And so, sometimes we edit the workouts, but anyway, the coaches know that there are friends there. So we work specifically to help them have a good time and to help show off what you've got, right? So if you've got something that you really want to do, then we'll try to put it into the program. And I think I've said before, CrossFit can be done by everybody, but definitely isn't for everyone. In my family, we've got, my brothers and sisters, 3 of us coach and 2 of us own a gym, and then the other 2 aren't so interested yet, right? So one of them is into swimming and the other one just likes to do the standard hypertrophy training. That's totally fine. At least everybody's doing something. So CrossFit isn't going to be a great fit for everyone. It's just not what it is. Now, in my family, the 6 of us in our family, 5 of us do CrossFit. And one of us is like, it's just, I don't know, not my thing. And that's okay. It's not for everybody. Sometimes it doesn't hit you where you're at. What else would you look for a gym? I think a good one would be, this is a preference for me. No contracts. We don't do contracts. If we don't do our job, fire us. If you don't like what we're doing, fire us. If I smell too bad, fire us, right? You should be able to walk away. If I know a gym that has done this, you get the first 3 months for free, but you need to sign a contract. And when you quit, you pay for 3 months. So yes, you see what they did there, right? So you don't get anything for free. You just pay for it on the backside. So I just don't like those tricks. If people can't stand up with their business, then they've got a bad business. They need to be able to, I don't know, just obviously do what they say and deliver the results that they've promised. So what else would I look for? So no contracts. I would say at least be open 5 days a week. Saturdays, I don't know. I never go in on Saturdays. I got too many kid things, but we do have a class and it's usually pretty packed. We also have an open gym on Sunday. That way those that miss something can jump in and do a workout. It's not necessarily coached. There usually is a coach there, but they're working out on their own as well. We are pretty much open. I think we are only closed 2 days out of the entire year. We're always doing something. So I don't know if you can ask them that. Hey, how often are you open? They should be like, we're always open. I think another good indicator of a decent gym is, hey, do you do Memorial Day Murph? Do you even know what that is? So that means they're doing CrossFit and they know what they're doing, right? If they know what that is and have an event for you or an opportunity to do that workout, it's for, oh man, I just drew a blank, but it's to memorialize an officer from, that saved his buddies on, oh man, I'll have to go back and find it. But anyway, obviously his name is Murph, but I can't think of his first name. Anyway, he had a workout. It was called Body Armor, and now everyone does in honor of him, Murph, on Memorial Day. What else would I look for in a gym? So maybe go to their about page and read a little bit about them. Do they mention, I find this very prideful. You will become better at what you do because we are awesome and we will do the stuff to get you there because we are the key in your fitness. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like that because they can go anywhere. So it's not the gym is the key. They can do anything anywhere, right? So we say we like to enable people to be the hero of their own story. So you gain all the information you want. I guess that's a humility thing. I just dislike prideful statements. But I'd say, gym size wise, depending on their memberships, I'd ask them that, hey, how many members you have? If they have about 1,000, if they have 100 members, then they're going to want about 3,000 square feet unless they have a lot of class times. So it can get kind of packed if they're, have something like in the 2,000 or less. So that could be a question. And really it's like, what do you want out of it? Yes, I want coaching, mentoring, and accountability. Yes, I want to learn new things and move, but I also am interested in community, or I'm really into going out on Friday nights with everyone and drinking. Well, I mean, just ask them and they're going to tell you yes or no. We're that type of gym. I guess the big thing that I'm trying to get to people when I do these podcasts is don't be nervous or afraid. It's not that complicated and we want you to succeed. So we're going to help you get there. I suppose one other funny thing for our gym is I have an opportunity on the website. You can actually pay us in Bitcoin. So if you wanted to, you could, use Bitcoin or use the Lightning Network to pay us. And I'm totally fine with that. All right. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to call, email, text. I love talking about health and fitness. And, if you're in the Woodstock area, man, I obviously would love to meet you, chat with you. If you're just looking for a gym and need some help and you live somewhere else, man, yeah, let me know. I will spend some time to help you find something that makes sense to you. I want people to live that good life, right? So I think right now, the number one and number two causes of death are things that are kind of preventable by your lifestyle and what you eat. So I think it's heart disease and cancer. So there are some things you could do. And a lot of it kind of involves like, get sweaty, do something kind of physical, right? And change your eating. So we can do those sort of things. I think the number 3 thing that they reported now is kinetic impact or, accidents and just things where something hits you quickly. And those are hard to adjust for because there's just a lot of people doing stupid things like texting while driving. Okay, guys, if you go to our website, CrossFitGarage.com, you will see our lead page. So you can jump into that, or you'll see my phone number or our contact me page. You can get us that way. I am happy to talk to anyone almost anytime, not at 2 a.m. So almost anytime. All right, guys, hope your journey to health and fitness is awesome. And I am here if you need help.